Hello everyone with Ascendant Gemini Sidereal. I'm Krasi and this is my analysis for people who have Ascendant Gemini. This is according to the Sidereal astrology or the Vedic astrology as well. So if you're having Sidereal Gemini, in the modern Western astrology, most probably your Ascendant will be Cancer. So if you're having modern Cancer Ascendant, then this video is for you, for Sidereal Gemini. So I will be talking about the main celestial events that will take place in the year of 2020 that will influence people with Gemini Ascendant. I will also tell you about, well, these events for me are the most important transits of the heavy planets like Saturn, for example, and then I will look at the most important phases of the planets, and the phases of the planets will mean also the visibility or invisibility. When a planet is in a position too near the sun, then the planet is hiding in the rays of the sun and becomes invisible. But there is this particular moment when the planet becomes visible, and usually these moments are very, very important, were very important for the ancient world, and they are considered, they usually result in events for us on Earth. So I will look also at these very important heliacal phases, along with retrograde important phases and stationary. Of course, we can't say everything, but I will give you the most important moments on the sky in 2020. I will tell you also about the eclipses, because eclipses are not scary. We have from 2 to 7 eclipses taking place per year. So we are immune to eclipses. They are allowed by the Creator to take place. So there's something that needs to happen to bring certain lessons into our lives. But I will explain you also which are the main dates of the eclipses, which are the axes which will be afflicted by the eclipses, and how to approach these. So if you have Sidereal Gemini, Tropical Cancer, then this analysis is for you. Now, important note, emphasis to make is that this is very general, because everyone is having very specific, unique, and only one on Earth horoscope. So this is general, hopefully helpful to give you direction of the most important events. But of course, if you want to see how the sky will be arranged for you in relation to your personal horoscope, then you may contact me for personal reading and consultation, and my contacts will be under this video. All right, so let's see now for Ascendant Gemini what is happening. Now, first to tell you something, some good news, of course. Ascendant Gemini, or you had for a very long time, for 2.5 years, Saturn on your 7th house must have been difficult or challenging or teaching experience, learning experience. But end of January, Saturn is moving away from your 7th house, and he will bring relief. This will be a relief, because in the very same moment, as of November already, you're having Jupiter on your 7th house. Now you may say, why we don't feel Jupiter already? Why I still feel these tense energies of Saturn, who brought so much of lessons to me? Well, I will tell you, Jupiter is invisible now, and he is becoming visible. Like I mentioned to you, that I will tell you about the most important heliacal phases. Now, Jupiter will become visible again on 30th of January. While he is invisible, you may not experience in full his blessing. So, but when he becomes visible on 30th of January, he is there for you again on your 7th house to bring help into your private life, in general, everything. Like he's coming to solve the difficulties which Saturn was bringing into your life. So Jupiter becomes visible on the 30th of January. And this is the most important celestial event for you, because in the very same moment, Saturn is leaving you alone and he's entering your 8th house. Jupiter is on your 7th to bring relief into your private life, personal life, health-wise, everything. He will come because he will be aspecting your ascendant. He will be aspecting your 10th house. He will be aspecting your 11th. So depending on how Jupiter exactly is placed in your horoscope will depend what exactly Jupiter will bring you, but it will be good for sure. That's for sure, especially after 30th of January. He can solve unresolved issues with finances, with court cases, relationships, just everything. And this will be very good. And on the very same moment, Saturn is entering your 8th house. Again, the Lord is going back home because he's entering his sign of Capricorn. Saturn is entering his own sign. He hasn't been there for 30 years. And his last station, so to say, station, not as a stationary planet, but like his last visit, if you want, was on your 7th house, where he brought lessons, and now he's coming back home, where he's going to see and arrange what hasn't been arranged and fix what hasn't been fixed, because the Lord is going back home. Imagine when you're going somewhere and you're coming back home, you see what you need first to fix, right? It's very similar with Saturn. 8th house issues. He may fix, depending how he's placed on your chart, he may fix issues related to finances that you expect to receive from court cases or from partnerships. He may, he may bring some level of difficulties in relation to partners and their finances. But once again, depends how Saturn is placed on your chart. But in any case, when he is in his own house, of course, he will be much less harmful. And your Saturn is ruling also your 9th house. So in this sense, he's not supposed to be that harmful, because the 9th house is the house of enlightenment, studies, the house of the guru. So he will bring you new spiritual awareness and a new desire to study, to reanalyze, revisit your belief system. So he could bring many good, interesting stuff into your life. So this is when he enters your 8th house. Now here, important event in January with the first visibility of Jupiter on your 7th house is that I will be creating powerful Jupiter talismans, which are for this, for abundance, good luck, the best blessing which comes from Jupiter. So the link to this is also under my video. And this is event which we're waiting for once per 12 years, when Jupiter enters his own sign and becomes visible for the first time. So it's powerful phase of Jupiter to make use of for the creation of talismans. And then, yes, this was the most important. Then on the 4th of February, Venus is going to be exalted on your 10th house. Beautiful for supporting your career, for supporting your plans, for arranging unarranged things related to your career. So this is something very nice. Then from 1st of March is entering your 11th house to help you with your finances. And then she on the 1st of March is entering, on the 28th of March, she's entering her own sign, Taurus, to help you with solving issues of health, or winning over hidden enemies, winning over disputes and things like that. And then finally, she's entering end of April, your Ascendant, to bring blessing, to help you with your health, with your love life. So this is all very nice. And then another very important event, April 4-5 is conjunction Pluto, Jupiter, which will be happening on your 7th house. This is interesting. This is conjunction of power. I don't see it as a bad conjunction. I see this as important, winning, powerful situation, but how will manifest a lot depends on your natal chart. On the 15th of April, the Sun is entering the exaltation point, very good for your finances, for your social life, for your, in general, plans happening. And then Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is happening on your 8th house and could be interesting for unexpected gains, for gains of your partner. On the 9th of May, we are having Mercury becoming visible in Taurus. This is on your 12th house. This can be very interesting. This can be winning position for winning over hidden enemies. Can be very esoteric, like bringing you very interesting spiritual and esoteric events. It is up until 19th of May. And on the approximately a similar period from mid-May, Saturn is stationary retrograde. Saturn is turning retrograde. Jupiter, stationary retrograde, turning retrograde. And Venus, stationary retrograde. And also, this is happening, they all become retrograde in the similar time. This is like the sky, and they will be creating at that very moment a trine. Saturn, Jupiter already, Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, towards Venus and Mercury in the sign of Taurus. And they are creating kind of trine from your 8th and 12th houses. This can bring you amazing spiritual events. Very interesting, related to new spiritual information or new knowledge, or just name it. Can be interesting for make you revisit, reanalyze your spiritual awareness, come in with some new interesting knowledge and stuff. And on the 30th of May, from the 16th of June, Venus is invisible. When she's invisible, she's not very, very supportive. Like we don't see her on the sky. It's like she's having totally different nature. And this can be a little bit afflicting for the personal relationships of people on Earth. So this is approximately the 16th of June. On 28th of June, Jupiter is entering back your 7th house because he was retrograde, he was in Capricorn, and on 28th of 6th of June, he's entering again your 7th house, which is very nice. There he will be much more supportive for you, your relationship, your everything. On 28th of July, Mercury becomes visible on your ascendant. Beautiful event, not to underestimate. Mercury's heliacal rise in his own sign. During this time, and I'm going to make Mercurian talismans because I've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. Because not only that Mercury is entering his own sign, but he's visible, becomes visible. This is lucky for you. Can bring like new events. Can be that finally you know what you want to do. Finally you find out what your mission are. Finally you're fulfilling your plans or your achieving your goals, or it's beautiful things to happen. Could be beautiful in any sense. And then 28th of August, Pluto, Jupiter make opposition to Venus from your Venus will be on your ascendant, and so this can be a little bit challenging for your love life, can create some additional costs that you may generate. So, and then finally on 17th of September, Jupiter turns direct. Very nice, because he was retro, because retrograde on the 28th/06 he entered your descendant, and on the 17th of September Jupiter will become direct. Very nice, because now he's faster in helping you. On 14th of September, Mars enters your 11th house, his own sign, to help you again. He can bring you new energies for money making, for solving issues in your social circle, for gains, for good. And then on the 10th of October, Saturn turns direct. This is again helping with the issues that were slowed down related to your 8th house, gains from partnerships. So Saturn is also stopping with his enormous delays. And on the 14th of November, Mars also turns direct in Pisces on your 10th house. So if he, again, delays related to finances, to career issues can be solved, but keep in mind that Mars in Pisces is very green. He is not very happy there. So expect some possible challenges with superiors. So be very diplomatic, and then things will go smoothly. And then on 25th of November, Jupiter is leaving your descendant to enter your 8th house. You may be missing him, but he will be helping more your partner, for example, than you being on your 8th house. He can bring very interesting spiritual awareness from your 8th house. Yes. And on the 18th of November until 12th of December, Venus will be in your 5th house in Libra, supportive for your finances, for children, for creating beauty, for design work. So this will be also very interesting. These were the most important celestial events. I can go forever, but then we need to look really day by day, and then this will be a 20 hours video. But let me list for you now the most important eclipses that will take place in 2020. As I said, no reasons to be afraid from eclipses, but it's good to be aware what they can bring so that we know how to perceive them, how to approach them. Now, really, it's not advisable to watch the eclipse, to observe it if visible in your location. The ancients wouldn't do that. If you hear through the modern astrology that eclipses are wonderful, I'm telling you they're not wonderful because they're darkening. Darkness is not wonderful. Depends what you're aiming at, but darkening luminary is not wonderful. Darkening luminary is a lesson that is meant to happen on Earth. So we have from 2 to 7 eclipses per year, so nothing to worry about, but it's good to have them in mind. The first eclipse of this year, 2020, is partial lunar, and it takes place on 10th and 11th of January, and is darkening your ascendant and your descendant. So if you experience some small delay in things, it's possible. If you want to initiate new things, like start new business, wait a while. After the eclipse, count like up to 3 months and postpone new businesses, new initiatives after, because oftentimes the eclipses, as people who have eclipsed ascendant could undergo certain delays and not more. Then the second one is partial lunar, 5th, 6th of June, happening on the axis of your 6th, 12th houses, which can be a little bit related to career, like work environment or routine environment delays, but it's not so significant because it's not afflicting your ascendant. Or now, of course, luminary or sun, when afflicted in the horoscope, also can lead to certain delays. And then you're having partial solar eclipse, which is taking place on 21st of June, happening on your ascendant. And then really count 3 months for these possible delayed deeds, because then on the 4th and 5th of July, again, lunar eclipse, which is taking place on the same axis. And then it's over with the darkening of your axis, because the next eclipse is happening, is partial lunar, 28th, 30th of November happening in Taurus, Scorpio, not so much influencing you, but can bring some disharmonies in your work environment. And then we're having the only total eclipse of this year, 2020, happening in Scorpio on the 14th of December. But it's not really so afflicting for you. Can, though, a bit influence your work environment. But stay spiritual, nothing to worry about, but it's good to know them, not to observe them, and to know that when eclipse is taking place on the ascendant, or eclipse in sun or moon, or medium meridian, it is appropriate to just to be patient. If we experience delays in our activities, to know that there is just a need of some patience and not more. Thank you for your attention. If you'd like to know more about your personal chart, my contacts are under this video, and your comments are very welcome.